Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So this drawing took forever. Oh my gosh, I think I spent like 4 hours on it total across the span of like 3 days. And that's not even counting what I didn't record, because there was like a whole beginning where I had just started coloring it and I wasn't recording anything because I was just kind of playing around. And I was originally going to do like cell shading like I typically do with the harsh black outline, but I didn't like the way it looked, and it was starting to kind of bother me. So I deleted everything that I'd done except for the outline, and then I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and record and just see what I can come up with. I wanted the piece to feel kind of wispy and whimsical and spacey, because my horny toad, I always envisioned it being in space because it has those star candies on its back, you know? And I already had the slogan "sweeter than the stars" to put on this postcard, so I definitely wanted it to be space themed. And I had this idea of doing like kind of greenish clouds with some like pretty bright oranges in there, and I thought they looked good, you know, at first. But then I got to coloring the horny toad and the colorful candies on its back, and it felt like, because the horny toad is yellow, that it was blending too much into those yellows and oranges that were in the clouds. So I thought, well, I'll try something different. And then my friend Christy gave me the idea to make the clouds match the colors on its back. So pinks, purples, blues. And I played around with that on my lunch break yesterday. And it was pretty, but it still was hiding the horny toad, which is the main subject of the whole piece. And so today when I got home from work, I was like, all right, something's got to give. And I thought, well, why don't I just blend in more of that dark background and just keep it simple? So the last of the video is going to show me doing that, like using those dark colors, and it made it really pop, and it looks a lot more easy on the eyes, and it's prettier, and I like it. I added some more little stars, some more little shooting stars. And then I showed my husband, and he said he didn't like that the cactus was green because it was blending in with the clouds too much. And I was like, well, I could do a contrasting color. So, you know, I changed it to orange. And I've never seen an orange cactus before, but is what it is, you know. And it does help your eye kind of travel along that side of the composition, you know, with the orange at the bottom, and then you travel up to the horny toad, so it gives you some direction to look at, and it's not too distracting. It's over there by itself. The reason why I drew the cactus is because the horny toad kind of lives in the deserty type areas, and I wanted to bring that element into the picture, and I thought it would be cute. Just something kind of quirky. Overall, I am really proud of the piece, and I think it looks really good. It's going to look good when it's printed. I found a website where I can print postcards for 100 postcards for $25. I think 100 might be excessive per picture. I don't think I'm going to sell as that many, but it is only $25, and whatever I don't sell at the art fair, I can always just hold on to it and maybe try to sell it in the future. The next one I'm going to work on is the armadillo piece. I think that one will be good. And it's going to be all pink. It's going to be really pretty and delicate. So yeah, that's the drawing. The Ozempic is going well. I have lost 5.8 pounds in the first month of using Ozempic, and I haven't felt nauseous. I haven't felt sick at all. It's been working really well with my body, so that's good. I did manage to tick off my husband today. So, I'm at work and my boss wants me to book a hotel reservation for a employee, and they wanted home to suite. So I got on the phone to book the reservation, and the guy on the phone was like, I'm going to sign you up for our honors program so that you can get a discount on the hotel room. And I was like, that's really not necessary. The company's paying for it. I'm using their card, so it's really not necessary. And he was like, it doesn't hurt and it's free to do. And I was like, you know what? I'm not arguing with you. Just go ahead and do it, whatever. So he signs me up for the honors program. We get the discount. I pay for it with the company card, and all is well. So then he says, I'm going to transfer you over to this other line so that you could talk about your rewards that you just earned. And I was like, okay, sure. So I'm talking to this other guy, and he starts going on about how, because I'm a new member with the honors program, he can offer me this package to take a vacation. And I was like, okay. And it's in Orlando, Florida, at one of the fancy Hilton resorts, and there were like 10 resorts to pick from. And I was like, cool. So normally a night stay at one of these resorts would be $450, but with this package it would be only $99 a night. And I was like, that's a huge discount, you know. And he said you'd have to do a minimum of a 3-night stay. I said, cool. I was like, you know, me and my family, like, we do trips, but they're always in Texas or in Oklahoma. And it would be nice to travel further and do something more, I don't know, exotic or something, just something different, you know. And I'm not normally the one that plans our trips. Usually it's my husband that plans everything, and he doesn't even tell me. He just does it and says, hey, we're doing this, you know. And I thought, well, I want to plan something for someone. I want to plan something for my family, and I thought this would be really cool. And then he said he could also offer me a voucher for a cruise for only $200 with the Royal Caribbean, and the cruise is normally $1,700. And I was like, oh, well, that's cool. And it's all expenses included, you know, like all the food is included and all that stuff. And I was like, well, that'll be fun. And me and Luke have already been talking about going on a cruise because I want to renew our vows on a cruise. I think that would be really romantic and exciting. And I was like, wow, I can get a vacay for my family and do this cruise, and it's only like $500. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, cool, let's do it. So I do it. I give him my card and I do it. And I called my husband to let him know, like, hey, I have something really exciting to tell you. And he freaked out. He was not happy. And I was like, what? And he was like, you just got scammed. And I was like, it's not a scam. It's through the Hiltons. It's not a scam. And he was like, man, like a Best Buy employee could like sell you on something. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, you always fall for it. And he was all mad at me. And I was like, I was trying to do something nice for our family. I was just thinking of all of us, and we could go to SeaWorld, or we could go to the beach. Like, we don't have to go to Orlando, and we don't have to go to like Disney World, you know. We don't have to go to Universal. We don't have to spend an arm and a leg to go on vacation. Like, we can do something a little more affordable and still have a really good time in a new location, you know. And he was like, we'll talk about it when we get home. So I get home and he wants to see my phone. He wants to see the email. And I show him the email, and he was like, God dang it, Megan. And I was like, what? And he goes, it's a freaking timeshare. And I was like, so? And he was like, we're going to have to sit through a freaking seminar, like a 2-hour seminar. And I was like, so? What's the problem? And he was like, you don't understand. If we mess this up, like, we could be out like tons of money, like tens of thousands of dollars, you know? And I was like, it's really not hard. We're going on this 4-day, 3-night vacay. one day out of the 4 days, yeah, we'll have to sit through a timeshare seminar, and they're going to try to sell us a timeshare, and all we have to say is no, we're not going to do it. No, go away, leave us alone, no. And then when it's all said and done, we just sign at the reception desk that we sat through the seminar. They're going to give us our points for the honors program. They're going to give us our vouchers for the cruise. And then we can be on our happy little way. And we can spend the rest of the vacation doing whatever we want. Okay? I said, it's really not that big a deal. I think you're stressing out for no reason. And he was like, it doesn't matter what I say. You're not going to listen to me. And I was like, you're right, because I don't see the problem. I really don't see the problem. I think it's a great deal to take advantage of this really cool opportunity, you know? Never in a million years could we ever afford to get to stay in a resort where it's $450 a night. Like, that's impossible for us, you know? And not only now do we get to stay, we also get to do the cruise too. And I think that's really cool. But he said over the weekend we're going to talk more about it, and he's going to look more into it and try to make sure that we don't miss anything with the contract, and make sure we don't get ourselves into a financial pickle. So, but I'm really excited, and I hope that we get to do a lot of fun things. I don't know. It'll probably be next year when we get to go. But when we do, I'll be happy to record some of the fun stuff we do and post it on the channel. I think that would be really exciting, and take as many pictures as I can of the kids doing fun things, and just have a whole new experience. And we can do it together as a family, you know? So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. That's the update. And I hope you guys like the drawing. There's going to be a lot of editing to do, because it is like 4 hours worth of footage I'm going to have to clip down to fit into a digestible video. But anyway, it'll be fine. I'll make it work. So I love you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.